Been after a Chrony for a little while. I wanted to get an F1 Chrony, and this F1 Chrony Master came up pretty cheap. I got it for £60, and the reason it was £60, I'll show you in a minute. Had a little crack on the plastic where the last owner had shot it, but other than that, it's in pretty good condition. Because I'm shooting indoors, I've attached these little LED strip lights to the diffusers. You have to have an artificial light source when shooting indoors, and you can't have like incandescent bulbs because they flicker, so they've got to be a pure white steady flow of light. But these little LED strips are perfect, and they're only fixed on the top with hair bands rather, and I've actually glued the plastic because I'm not going to take them apart, and just make it stronger whilst it's under flex pressure there. I'll put some bits of foam blocks in here, only just to sort of, well, just to really sort of cover the wires up that are shown inside. And as you can see, that was the broken plastic there, and it's screwed through there, but the threads had gone where it had broken. So I've actually just sort of glued it, as you can see from now, and I've done the same this end, even though this end wasn't broken. I've just glued it because I want it to last. So yeah, that's pretty much my little eBay bargain, 60 quid. Just going to be shooting indoors because I'm shooting CO2 and it's cold outside. I think it's about 5 metres away, the backstop, and I've just lined it all up. So I'm just going to shoot straight through the middle of the Chrony. Make care not to shoot the actual Chrony itself. And the difference with the Master, instead of having a display on the front there, it's just a solid sort of a metal plate, which is handy because some people do miss and shoot their Chrony. But the Master has a separate display panel with a cable, so yeah, you can have that sort of setup where you're shooting from, so you can look at it straight away. I'll do a few shots and compare feet per second, and then you have to do a little bit of conversion to get your foot pounds or your feet pounds power. I'm shooting 14.3 grain premiers, which is quite a heavy pellet for CO2, and I'm going to be shooting this one first of all. This is my Crossman 2240. It's a stubby chop down barrel. Internals I haven't messed with, just give them a bit of a polish. It's more aesthetic with the wooden grips, steel breech, and little bits of bling added to it. So we'll see what sort of power we're getting from this. It's about 18 degrees indoors, and obviously CO2 works best the warmer it is. But let's have a little look and see what sort of feet per second, foot pounds we're going to get. Okay, first reading, 378. I'll do 10 shots. Easy to work out then. So I've got 378. First shot. Three, 6, 7. If you shoot CO2 in fairly quick succession, it's going to cool everything down. It will cool down the expansion chamber, it will cool down the barrel because it's CO2, and you will see a drop in feet per second. Three, 7, 4. It's good to take an average, you know, to get a true sort of average reading. 370, and also, it's in the UK, air pistols, the maximum power is up to 6 foot pounds. Anything over that, it's classed as pistols, section 5, prohibited weapon, firearms act. And for rifles in the UK, 12 foot pounds. So if you're buying, you know, air pistols, air rifles from a registered firearms dealer, brand new, then you should be fine. You should well be within the legal limit. If you're buying second hand, who knows what the last owner has or hasn't done to the rifle or pistol. So it is always worth checking to make sure you're within the law. And especially if you're into Crossman 2240s, rat busters and rat catchers, the 2250s, there's loads of modifications you can do. It's good fun to mod, and you have to be careful what you're doing internally. It'd be very easy to you know, increase your power by doing very little internally. They're all around a sort of 370 at the moment. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Okay. There we go. Right. I'll get my calculator out and we'll see what my 2240 stubby's doing. Right, so my average feet per second is 368.4 or 368, and 10 shots brings it out at 4.31 foot pounds. So 4.3 foot pounds, which is well within the legal limit for pistols at 6 foot pounds. So yeah, I could, if I wanted to, I don't know if I need to because it shoots well, but if I wanted to increase the power output, I could do, and then test it and make sure I'm still within the legal boundaries. You also got to remember, different grain pellets are going to shoot faster or slower. So you have to test a range of pellet grains just to check that you're not going over 6 foot pounds. I haven't got any lighter pellets, otherwise I would have chucked some through, but I will do that, and then I can have sort of the lowest foot pounds with the heaviest pellet, I'm guessing, and then obviously the faster, lighter pellet will give me a higher foot pounds, as long as it's within the 6 foot pounds. Right, I'm going to shoot another pistol now. That's my 2240. I'm going to shoot my 1377. It's 177 lighter pellets. Will shoot faster. Hasn't been modified internally. I've just basically made a pump handle and bought some grips. So it's got a bit of wooden grips on it. So we'll see how this one shoots. Oh, that's a surprise for the 1377. It is pretty much brand new. I've hardly used it, so it hasn't been running, if you like, but it's pretty low power output. It sounds loud, it's got a long barrel, but it's only kicking out 2.59 foot pounds, so I can definitely do some more with that from standard. I might try a lighter pellet. This was 10.5 grain Crossman dome pellets, 177, and average feet per second is 333.45 over 10 shots. So yeah, I was quite surprised that's pretty low powered. So I might have a little play with that. Yeah, the stubby, that's fine. At the end of the day, I was expecting to have a lower from standard power output, just because the barrel's so short, which obviously means that there's less expansion of the CO2 gas to propel the pellet. but I like it stubby, and it shoots fine indoors, short distances. Yeah, so that's the Chrony. Testing my pistols. I might get my rifles out now and check them too. Next up to test is my old BSA Lightning. It's .22 spring rifle. I've recently sort of taken it apart, put it back together again. I had to fix the spring of the trigger, and I've polished out the barrel, but that's standard again. And the FireArc HW99S, that's .22 again, and that's completely standard. I've never taken this one apart. I've not shot much through either, to be honest. This one was gifted to me by a good mate, so it's quite old. It's probably had loads and loads and loads of pellets through it by the condition I got it in. But this one brand new, I haven't even put 50 pellets through it, to be honest. So we'll pop these through the Chrony rather, and see how these do. Right, the numbers are, for the FireArc is 10.76 foot-pounds, and the BSA 10.36 foot-pounds, so both a couple of pounds almost under the legal limit, which is good.